Good evening, good night, bonsoir, buenas noches, buenas noches to investors in North and South America. Ohio, good investor. 안녕하세요,各位早晨. Good morning to investors in Asia. Buenas noches, good night to investors in Europe and Africa. I'm Daniel Yu speaking from Hong Kong. It's 22nd January here and 21st in Wall Street. This week had three main points to talk about. Number one, hawkish speeches of the Fed. Number two, battle of Apple and Microsoft. Number three, overview of promising stocks. Subscribe, like, and share. Remember to click the bell, please. Watch our playlist again so as to grasp the continuous trend of the market and refresh your mind. Several Fed officials stood up and released hawkish speeches of interest rate last week, including Williams of New York Fed on Monday, Waller, the Fed governor, on Wednesday, and Bostic of Atlanta Fed on Friday. To sum up, they do not expect the rate cut would come so early as what the market expected and should prepare well for reigniting inflation or else a too early rate cut would trigger a rate hike at last. Actually, the scene should have been seen on December 30th, just after the FOMC meeting. The difference between the double chart and Chicago target rate already showed the variance between the decision maker of the Fed and the market. The double chart showed that members of FOMC meeting forecast the interest rate will go down for 3 years from 2024 to 2026 and then go horizontally in 2027. In 2024, there will be 3 rate cuts, but the CME rate probability expects there will be 5 rate cuts in 2024 and later on adjusted to 6 rate cuts. The variances had already been shown long ago. December 13 is the 30th new moon and last new moon of 2023 and is known as the long cold moon. It opened a new era for the market to follow up. Above all, it is the changing and confirmation of 3 major indices from the falling pattern of head and shoulders to rising trend. Please refer to video 62 at 2023-1218 for details. Henceforward, market sentiment changed. No one will expect rate high again. Instead, focus is on rate cut, but practically there is a horizontal level at top to keep the interest rate unchanged. Let's see what has happened in this period and how investors should make use of it. Dow Jones made a record high on the same day. The previous record high was on January 5th, 2022 at 36952, and on December 13, 2023, the FOMC New Moon meeting broke the highest record at 37094. Henceforward, it broke 10 record highs, and the previous record high was at 37825, which is on January 12, 2024, just 1 day after the New Moon. The closing price of Dow Jones on last Friday is 37863, making it a new record high. For S&P, on January 4th, 2022, there was a record high at 4818 and closing price of last Friday was 4839, another new record high. For NASDAQ Composite, the previous record high was made on November 22nd, 2021 at 16212 and the last closing price was at 15310, still 902 points to go. Just to repeat the forecast of the highest point of 2024, which is S&P can reach 5200 points, Dow Jones will reach 40,000 points, while NASDAQ Composite will reach 17,000 points, and NASDAQ 100 will reach 19,000 points. For details, please refer to video 633 and 2023-1225. Don't forget that the market may have a drop in summer, and after that, the best buying time will be before November comes. As for the battle between Apple and Microsoft, they are running in neck and neck, one surpassing the other. Alternatively, last week has exchanged the position of champion and restored. Microsoft once was at top of the market value on previous week, and on last Wednesday, it is expected that the headset of Apple will replace the use of iPad. The HoloLens of Microsoft will have a keen competition with Apple Vision Pro, which assembled in Shenzhen of South China. Vietnam and India are trying to get the manufacturing contract. As for HoloLens of Microsoft, the major manufacturer is Foxconn, which is a Taiwanese enterprise. Besides having plants in Shenzhen, they are extending to Scotland, Korea, Japan, and Brazil. So the battle not only is keen on selling, but also in getting the manufacturing contract among newly developing countries. The trend is that once China was known as the factory of the world, but after the pandemic, a lot of countries wish to have a share in such a production chain, and the competition is so keen both in selling and manufacturing. For Apple, I have said several times that the best buying level is 167 in October and 186 in January. And it really is. Now we are waiting for the AI mobile of Apple, which will come out by the end of 2024 and will lead to another battle in the market. For overview of stocks, the major trend is that the whole market is rising, but NASDAQ Golden Dragon Index is falling because the economy in China is expected to slow down. So those that took bearish try the YANG, which is the direction daily FTSE China Bear 3X. It is better than short selling or keep selling without doing anything. Since the pandemic started in early 2022, Apple announced they would shift 20% of their manufacturing line to India in 2 years. At first, the progress was very slow. Even India has established a special economic zone, which is twice as large as that of Shenzhen. The fact is that Chinese workers are more skillful than developing countries. So on the borderline of Vietnam, it can be seen a lot of Chinese workers are lining up to cross the borderline to work, for they are much welcomed. But after 2 to 3 years, those new local workers become skillful workers and can train new staff to work properly. When Shanghai and Shenzhen also had a hard lockdown in 2022, the shift was accelerated and quite a number of foreign plants were moved out of China. But when you look bullish, you can try the YINN, which is the bullish 3X, just the opposite. For TSM, I've also said that their best buying level in January was between $90 to $100, and it really had a large jumping gap of 10% last Thursday, which is quite rare. Anyway, it proved not worthwhile to chase high in such a case. Better try some stocks at low. It is because the 7nm chip production already occupies 67% of the market share, and the Hsinchu headquarters is developing 2nm and 1nm chips. People believe that there would not be any war in Taiwan Strait no matter who is elected as president. It is simply because of the TSM. The whole Western world will stand up to protect TSM and will not let it be hurt. Please refer to the Arizona Plan in video 65 at 2024-0108. Now it's a time of treasure hunting and see how you can take out those potential stocks. So when talking about the VR concept, it is really too risky to chase high on Apple or Microsoft. Better try the Unity. For those that wish to purchase at low and wish to have a promising future, you is the best attempt, but you must have some patience. It is going horizontally for quite a long time, and now the only way is that when record high comes, people will take them out. Last week, when talking about Bitcoin, there were 2 stocks that needed to wait, GBTC and IBIT, but now also one more stock has come down, which is MARA. For those that do not wish to chase high because it's too risky, can also try this, but they also have other risks of falling since they have already fallen to a certain extent, so the risk is really lower and worthwhile trying. So some people will ask, is there any stock at the low already stopped falling and started to rise? It is the PLTR. For Bitcoin concept stocks, it is hard to say that falling had already stopped, but PLTR really stopped and started to rise. So you need not to wait too long, but already reached the bottom. For those that wish to purchase at the bottom, it's not so suitable. Anyway, it is a relatively new stock introduced in 2020 only, and now it's above the IPO price. What is it famous for? Supplying data for capture of Bin Laden in May 2010, but the IPO came too late. If it came 10 years earlier, it would be the hottest stock of the market. Anyway, after the record high of S&P and Dow Jones, the market is expecting to go further up, and the record high of NASDAQ is not so far away from us. We need to have another strategies to face the in-season record high. This kind of strategy will be discussed in the next video. So again, subscribe, share, and like this. Sayonara, auf Wiedersehen, adieu, bye bye. See you next week.